Hi, I'm Cheryl, and this is the card 2 of my Purple Lilacs card set. Excuse me. And I hope you watched the first video because you're going to need all of the elements that we created in that one. We have this large lilac spray, and then of course all the little lilac flowers. So we'll be using those in this video, so watch the first one. Oh my. So, and I even did the inside on this one. So this is what you're going to need. Other than those little bits that I just showed you. From the Lush Lilac paper collection, I'm using this panel. And that came from a sheet. It looks like this. And also there's a little sentiment we're putting on the front, thinking of you today. And that came from this little edge here. And so that's the one side. And this is what it looks like on the back. So it'll help you locate it and the paper pack a little easier. And also then we have a piece of always Artichoke. And this is 5.5 by 11. We're making a 5.5 by 5.5 inch card. I have this little bit here, die cut. And I used the die from that you can get as a companion to the petal palette. And it's got a lovely die set that comes with it. Or it doesn't come with it. If you bundle it, it comes with it. And actually that's the way to go because you get a little bit of a discount on there, and discounts are always nice. And then also a piece of very vanilla cardstock. And this is 4.5 by 4.5. So that's our papers we're using. I'm using the designer Dries clear glue. This is what the bottle looks like. I've decanted it into a little one with a very narrow tip on it. And then I'm also using, from the Sweet Sentiments, I'm using the stamp Everyone Needs a Friend Like You. That will go on the inside of the card. And I also used the die set from Heartfelt Creations. This is the Cut Matte Create 2A, and that's going to cut our nice little window on the front of the card. You'll see that when I get to that when we're making the card. I have Pear Pizzaz ink and Wisteria Wonder. I have a little ball stylus here. Any kind of pokey type of tool would be perfect. It helps in the flower placement. We're using a corner rounder. We'll need a sponge dauber, makeup sponge, whatever sponge you use for blending. And then I'm also using some 1/2 inch wide foam tape. I have bits of that pre-cut off to the side here, all ready to go. So let's get going on the card. Let's do the die cut first. So we'll get our panel out here that we've cut, and this square from the Cut Matte Create. And I'm going to use my magnetic platform to cut, but I am going to put that in place and then use a bit of low tack tape to hold it in place, because I really don't want this to shift. I want it to be absolutely perfect for my card. So off on the side I have my big shot, and we'll just put that right there on the big shot and make sure that's still all lined up nicely, and we'll run that through. Whenever you have a die that has a flat straight edge on it, if it's at all possible, it's best to run it through at an angle if you can. I'll show you what you see how this is at a slight angle. and that will always help you with your die cutting. Okay, so now we've got our little thing cut out, and I carefully peel that tape off, and we've got our little thing. So let's attach that to the card. Oh, get rid of that too. We don't need that anymore. So I've got my card base, and I'm going to put this part on first. Okay. Now, if you see that you've got a little white showing around the edges here, I got off a little bit because I couldn't get up on top to see exactly where I was placing that. You can just take some of your Always Artichoke ink, and I'm going to go directly from the ink pad, and I'm just going to do the edges, and just run the edges through my ink. So that's the inside, and then I can see on the outside, and maybe I'm a little bit too picky about this, but I do think this can make a big difference. And last side, there we go. Now, if you cut yours perfectly, you don't have any white showing, you don't need to use the artichoke ink on it. I'm going to use the foam tape that I've pre-cut. When you're using the rolls of foam tape, see, it tends to curl back up on itself. So I like to kind of straighten that out as best I can before I place it on my paper. I don't want that to curl up. And what is that? You know what? I'm going to trim a little bit of that off. That's just a little bit too close to the edge. There we go. And a piece there. Now when we place this down on the card front, we get one shot at it, and that's it. Because this tape is going to grab hold really well. So how's everybody doing? This is exciting watching me peel this off, I know. Okay, so make sure our card opens the right way. Make sure we have this right way, and I'll stand up because I do want that centered on my card, because it's just a little bit of that Always Artichoke showing around the edges. There we go. Alright, so now that's popped up a little bit, and then we're going to take this bit, and I'll use some of my glue. And I'm not using Tombow on this one for a reason, because Tombow is sticky, and when I go to put my flowers on, I don't want any sticky Tombow glue on my fingers. I know I'll get some on my fingers. So when this dries, it's not tacky like the Tombow, but it does have a good hold. So now we're going to place this down in that little opening. Get all those corners poked down in. And there. So we've already got a little layer of dimension here. Let's shoot on into the inside of the card. And we're going to take our very vanilla piece. Round all four corners. We want that to kind of echo the front of the card. And I have my sponge dauber. And I'll use my Pear Pizzaz. You know what, let's stamp first. Let's stamp first. So I already have my, everyone needs a, or something, what does it say? I forget. Okay, everyone needs a friend like you. That's right. I was going to say it right. So I want to line that up as best I can on my stamp, because when you're working with a rubber stamp, it can be kind of tricky to get your sentiment straight. Luckily, the sentiment is, I don't know what you would call it. I call it wonky. It's a little wonky. Oh, I got ink on my fingers. Let's see. There we go. And that looks good. Yeah, oh, I was saying it's a little bit wonky, so if you don't have it lined up perfectly, it kind of hides that. I like the sentiments like that aren't perfectly straight. So now with my Pear Pizzaz, I'm just gonna sponge around the outside of the card just to give it a little bit of something extra. And you always, when you're sponging, you always want to start out light. You can always add more color, but once it's down, you really can't take it away. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. Alright, so let me get things cleaned up here a little bit, because we don't want that ink to end up somewhere else. And I do have some on my fingers. I want to wipe that off. Okay. So now we can adhere this to the inside of the card. And I'll use the same glue. Just put a bead of that all around here. And recap it. Always want to recap it. You don't want your glue drying out. And we'll just center that on the inside. Oh, got a little glue there. Okay, back to the front. So we've got this little decorative piece. That's going to go here. This is going to go here. And then our flower spray will go on the top here. So let's do these. Use a bit of the glue, and we're just going to put that on the bottom edge here. Oh, did I mention we're going to use pearls? I'm going to put some pearls on this card too. So this is just going to go right here. You want the end of this close to the end of the card, or the end of this panel. And this is going to just stick up just a little bit into our window, you see. And then we'll use this bit. I'm going to trim a little of this off. Nah, I think I'll leave it. I'm going to leave it. And just put a line of that glue. And that will go right to the edge of your panel. Oh, That's awful low. There we go. Okay, and now we can put our lilac spray on. So here's our lilac spray. I already have the foam dots on the back, or the dimensionals on the back. That's something else you need. This will all be listed in the materials list. They have a blog now. I'm learning new things on my computer. I have a blog. I have a I've changed the name on my Facebook page to match my blog. And I've learned how to edit videos. Well, a little bit anyway. So, okay, so we've got that down. And now we'll start putting our flowers on. And that will be the end of our demo. We'll just start putting these on. So I hope you're liking these cards. If you do, then make sure you hit that like button down below, because I do check these things, and that gives me an idea what everybody is interested in. And there's some cards that I make that never make the videos because they're ones that I've made for certain people in my life. And I feel like that's something I just don't want to share those with the whole world. That's just for them. But if you like it, then I can go by what people are liking and kind of lean in that direction and give y'all more what you like. If you have any questions or comments about the card, then you can do that down below there too. And of course, if there's any Stampin' Up! Products you like, you can do that either through the Facebook page or the web, or my new blog. That was a lot of fun. Trying to figure out how to work that. I'd never done anything like that before. Like I said, I'm learning new things. 61 years old, I'm still learning stuff. Okay, so now we have all of our flowers on in place. Oh, I see a little spot. I think I want another flower. Sometimes you don't notice until you pick them up and take a look at them. There we go. One right there. Alright. I don't think we'll glitter the card. But you know what? I had a ribbon. In one of my other videos, I showed how to make these ribbons with just plain white seam binding tape. And you can dye them to match your card. So here's one I had, and I think that would be kind of cute on here. So I'm gonna glue it on this one. I didn't do that on the original. If you think you'd like to have the ribbon, then check out the video and dye a bit of seam binding to match. And let's see, I'm going to need to hold this down over here somehow. Let's see, put some glue there. I love when it's all crinkly like this. I just think it's so cute. Kind of shabby chic. Alright, there we go. there's our card. So there's the original way I did it. There it is with the bow. You decide. Do you like the bow? Do you not like the bow? I don't know. I like both of them. So, once again, oh, we didn't put the pearls on. Oh my gosh. I gotta get those pearls on there. Need to snip these apart. Most of the time when you get these pearls and things, they have like a little sticky thing between them. And it's just like on a runner, so snip them apart. And put one of these in each of the corners. Well, I kind of got my ribbon there. I don't think I'll put one in that corner. That one needs to move a little bit. Okay. So if you didn't use your ribbon, put one in all four corners. There we go. Now we're done. So, without ribbon, with ribbon. So, y'all take care. Stay safe. And happy stamping.